The new Galaxy A16 5G is not the cheapest Galaxy up on offer, but it is close. This means it's based on budget-grade hardware, and there were inevitably some compromises to be made. So our task is to discover potential shortcomings or deal breakers and see if the phone is worth getting. Before we get into the review itself, we should make a point that we are reviewing the 5G model, and our review findings might not apply to the regular Galaxy A16 4G model, mainly because it uses a different chipset. Speaking of chipsets, the Galaxy A16 5G itself is in an odd situation and is available with either a Samsung Exynos 1330 or a MediaTek Dimensity 6300, depending on the market. We've already seen the Exynos 1330 inside the Galaxy A14 5G, but no device with the Dimensity 6300 has passed through the office. This is quite unfortunate since we can't compare the two chips, even roughly. Pros: attractive and sturdy design with slightly thinner bezels. Latest One UI and up to 6 major OS upgrades. Solid main camera in photos and videos. Great selfie quality. Great battery life in gaming and calls. 5G, NFC, microSD. Cons: not very bright display and no HDR video support. No automatic refresh rate switching and no AOD. No stereo speakers. Unsatisfactory real-world performance with stutters and slowdowns. Pretty basic 5MP ultra-wide and no 4K video recording with the stock app. Virtual proximity sensor. Our verdict: the Galaxy A16 5G is a nicely constructed device covering most bases. We particularly like Samsung's fairly new commitment to up to 6 major Android upgrades on modest devices. Undoubtedly, there is a lot to love about One UI and all of the added features it offers. However, the Galaxy A16 5G seems to be behind the times in more ways than one. Samsung just isn't packing in that budget value like many other competitors. For example, the phone is only IP54 rated, it lacks stereo speakers, and its display, while not bad in any way, only has a 90 Hz refresh rate and pretty modest maximum brightness. The Exynos 1330 chipset that we tested offers modest performance at best. The UI doesn't run particularly smoothly and is not snappy at all, which makes us worried about usability after a few Android updates have gone through, as promised. 4 GB of RAM on a modern phone, even a budget one, just doesn't cut it anymore. We also don't particularly like the fact that video capture is limited to 1080p, and in general, the cameras on the A16 5G failed to impress us. While the phone has a decent active use score, its charging time also failed to impress. You all know that old saying, there are no bad products, just bad pricing. While there is room for nuance in such a broad statement, we feel that it perfectly describes the Galaxy A16 5G in its current state. It is just too close in MSRP to the much superior Galaxy A35, and if savings are what you are after, there is the very similar Galaxy A15 5G. Perhaps, at this right price, the Galaxy A16 5G can become popular, even majorly so, but the way things currently stand, we can't give it an outright recommendation. You are better off shopping around. Thank you for watching. See you next videos.